So, welcome everyone. This is a social studies paper and it also contains questions which are mostly asked in competitive exams like CTET, PSC, NET, etc. So, first question says the system of tax became more prominent during the period of, and the options are Mahajanpads, Harappan civilization, Vedic period, and option D Rashtrakutas. So, the answer for this question is option A, which is Mahajanpads. Now, let's see the reason behind it. Because the rulers of Mahajanpads were the most flourishing at their ruling era, as the rulers of Mahajanpads were building huge forts and maintaining big armies. And so because they were maintaining huge armies and building huge forts, therefore they need more money and more resources to do so. So instead of depending on occasional gifts which were bought by the people, as in the case of Raja of the Janpads, they started collecting regular taxes from their citizens. And taxes which were collected during the period of Mahajanpads were the taxes on crops, uh, and these were the most important, as this was because that the farming was the main occupation and most important occupation of the period of that time. Usually the taxes were fixed at one-sixth of the total produce, and this was known as baga or the share. And the taxes were on the craftsperson as well, and this could have been in the form of labor, for example a weaver or a king. Herders were also expected to pay taxes in the form of animals or animal products. There were also taxes on the goods that were brought and sold and in trade. So the taxes were on traders as well. And hunter gatherers also had to provide forest produce to the Raja. And now let's see the more about Mahajanpads. One of the ancient kingdom of Mahajanpad was Panchal, whose capital was Kampilia. And Panchal was the ancient kingdom of northern India, which was located in the Ganga Yamuna Doab of the upper Gangetic plain. During the later Vedic period, which is from c. 1100 to 500, Panchal emerged as one of the dominant powers of the Indian subcontinent. And the second one was Vatsya or Vamsa, whose capital was Kaushambi, and the kingdom of Vatsa or Vamsa was located in the fertile Ganga Yamuna Doab. Doab is a place where both the rivers meet. And the third important Mahajanpad was Asaka, whose capital was Podanya or Potana, and it was located in the banks of on the banks of Godavari river. And the capital of Osaka was Podania. This region is present in modern day Andhra Pradesh, so it was presented in the region of southern part of India. And the Mahajanpad was Potana or Potali, which corresponds to Podania in some texts. The Asakas were mentioned by Panini, and they are placed in the southeast in the Markandeya Puran and the Brahmanda Purana. And the fourth one is Kosala, whose capital was Shravasti, and Kosala was located in the northern regions of the modern day Uttar Pradesh, with Ayodhya as another significant city. And during the Buddha's period, its capital was at Shravasti. Kosala was bounded in the west by the Panchala, on the east by Magad kingdom, and on the south by Vatsa. And the fifth important kingdom was Chedi, whose capital was Suktimati. And the Chedis, Chetis or Chetyas had two distinct settlements, of which one was in the mountains of Nepal and the other near Bundelkhand in Kaushambi. Chedi was an important kingdom in central India during the later Vedic period. And these are the 16 Mahajanpads, which are Kamboja, Gandhara, Kuru, Panchala, Kosala, Shurasena, Malla, Virji, Anga, Magadha, Vatsa, Chetia, Avanti, Matsya, Asaka. And the second question says, which of the following literary heritage of India means approaching and shifting near? And the options are Upanishads, Purans, Vedas, or Aranyakas. And the answer of this question would be option A, Upanishads, as it literally means approaching and sitting near. The question 3 says, identify the source of energy from the given features A and B. A says it is conventional source of energy, and the B says that this source of energy is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. And the options are A, biogas, B, natural gas, C, geothermal energy, or D, wax. And the answer of this question would be B, natural gas. And the reasons of this could be that natural gas is a conventional or non-renewable source of energy. It is presented in a limited quantity, and if once exhausted can't be reused again, which means it is a non-renewable source of energy and can't be produced again and again. And it is a source of energy that is released when crude oil is brought to the surface, and it is released while the crude oil is brought to the surface of Earth. And it is a colorless, highly flammable gaseous hydrocarbon consisting primarily of methane and ethane. And the natural gas and oil are often found together in the same reservoir. That's why natural gas is released when crude oil is brought to the surface of Earth. And the question 4 says that for every 1 degree of longitude, the local time changes by. And the options are A, 2 minutes, B, 6 minutes, C, 1 minute, or D, 4 minutes. And the answer for this question would be 4 minutes. And the reasons of this could be that each degree of longitude has a time difference of 4 minutes. So if it is 12 o'clock in Greenwich, 0 degrees, it's 12:04 o'clock in 1 degree meridian, and so on. Which means that if this is 0 degree, which is the Greenwich prime meridian, and if it is 12 o'clock over this longitude, then at 1 degree the time would be 12 hours and 4 minutes, as every 1 degree counts for the 4 minutes. Question 5 says the Planning Commission of India was replaced by Niti Aayog on, and the options are A, 2016, B, 2015, C, 2018, or D, 2017. And the answer for this is option B, which is 2015. And the Planning Commission was charged with the responsibility of making assessments of all resources of the country, which means that the Planning Commission was assigned the duty to make assessment of all the resources of the country. And on January 1st, 2015, a cabinet resolution was passed to replace the Planning Commission with newly formed Niti Aayog. And Niti Aayog was established to form sustainable development goals with the help of federalism by fostering the involvement of the state government in economic policies. And one of the objectives of Niti Aayog is to develop mechanisms to formulate credible plans at village level and aggregate these progressively at higher levels of government. And the Prime Minister is also called as the chairman of the Niti Aayog. Question number 6 is sustainable development refers to. Option A is conservation of mainly renewable resources. Option B, limited use of resources. Option C, exploiting the resources by settling a huge number of various population in our environment. Or option D, conserve all kind of resources, forests, water, soil, animals, use only as per requirement and save it for the future. And the answer for this question would be option D, which is to conserve all kind of resources, mainly forest, water, soil, animals, and to use only as per the requirement and save it for the future. And what does the term sustainable development means? So sustainable development refers to the development So, sustainable development refers to the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future life to meet their own needs. And it also means protecting the environment and indigenous geography by reducing pollution and conserving natural habitats. It is also important because it helps to protect the environment and ensures a sustainable future. And this is a diagram which shows various type of natural resources. This is wind power, this is solar energy, and this is forest resources, these are animal resources, and this is natural gas, this is land resources, and this is crude oil, and these are precious metals and minerals. And the last but not the least, these are the water resources. So it's sustainable development says to conserve them all by keeping the idea in mind to help them conserve for the future generation and to use them in a limited way and not to exploit it. So the sustainable development refers to the development which meets the needs of the present and without compromising the ability of future life to meet their own needs. And the question 7 says, which article of the Constitution of India is related to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India audit reports? And the options are Article 148, option B Article 150, option C Article 151, and option D Article 149. And the answer of this question would be option C Article 151. So what is the Comptroller and Auditor General of India? Comptroller and Auditor General of India, or CAG, is the head of Indian Audit and Accounts Department. And Article 148 of the Constitution provides for an independent office for the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, and he is the head of Indian Audit and Accounts Department. Article 149 deals with the powers and duties of CAG. His duty is to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the Parliament in the field of financial administration. And Article 151 deals with the Comptroller and Auditor General of India to submit the reports in relation to the accounts of the Union to the President. And this was the question asked to us, that which article of the Constitution of India is related to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India audit reports, which is Article 151. And in Article 151, it deals with the Comptroller and Auditor General of India to submit the reports in relation to the accounts of the Union to the President. The CAG is appointed by the President of India, and the article related to CAG are Article 148, 149, 150, 151 and 279. And some other important articles are Article 72 of the Constitution states that the President powers to grant pardons. Article 76 of the Constitution states that Attorney General of India, it is related to the Attorney General, appointment of Attorney General. Article 78 deals with the Prime Minister duties, and Article 50 deals with the segregation of judiciary from executive, which means the separation of judiciary from executive. And Article 167 of the Constitution deals with the Chief Minister duties. And the question 8 says that the place where a river flows into another body of water is called option A delta, option B leaves, option C oxbow lake, or option D river's mouth. And the answer for this question is option D river's mouth. As river's mouth is a place where a river flows into another body of water such as lake, sea, or ocean, which means a river's mouth is a place where another body of water gets flowed into or gets accumulated, and such other bodies are such as lake, sea, or ocean. And river's mouth is used to refer to the point at which river empties another body of water. Or it can also be said that it is a point where river empties into another body of water, and the body of water could be lake or sea or ocean. And this can be lake, sea or ocean depending on the size and location of the river. The mouth of river is often characterized by a wide and often shallow channel where the river water meets the salt water of the sea or ocean. So this is the river mouth, where the uh, which is a shallow channel and where the river water meets the salt water of the sea, ocean or lake, depending on the location and the size. And let's discuss some other facts about the formation of things which happen due to the flow of river, which is delta. And a delta is formed at the mouth of river and is a landform where the river deposits sediment and creates a fan shaped area of land. So this is a delta where the river deposits sediments and other fertile things, and it is in the shape of triangle, and hence it is called a delta. And it is formed at the mouth of a river. So it is basically a landform which contains fertile minerals which is brought by the river, and thus a landform is formed, and it is mainly in fan shape or triangular shape. The second one is leaves, and leaves are raised embankments along the bank of river that are designed to prevent flooding. So these are the embankments, which means walls are built around the river to prevent flooding, and this is built along the bank of the river. So these are the leaves. And oxbow lake. So an oxbow lake is a U-shaped body of water that forms when a meandering river erodes the outer banks and creates a new channel, leaving behind a horseshoe shaped lake. So this is an oxbow lake which is in U in shape, this, and it is formed when a meandering river erodes the outer banks and creates a new channel, leaving behind a horseshoe shaped lake. So when a river erodes the outer banks and creates a new channel and leaves behind a horseshoe shaped lake. Question number 9 says, what are Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri? Option A is name of rivers, option B name of satellites, option C Indian research centers in Antarctica, or option D name of glaciers. So the answer of this question is option C, which is Indian research centers in Antarctica, and India is signatory to the Antarctic Treaty and to protocols to the Antarctic Treaty on the environmental protection, and has two research centers in Antarctica, which are mainly Bharti, which was commissioned in 2012, and Maitri, which was commissioned in 1988, since 1988, and it is equipped with modern technology and facilities which are used to research in various fields such as earth science, meteorology or glaciology. India's first research station, Dakshin Gangotri, is currently used as a supply base and the transit camp. So Dakshin Gangotri is a research station, while Bharti and Maitri, Bharti which was commissioned in 2012, and Maitri which was commissioned since 1988, are Indian research centers in Antarctica. Question number 10 says, what was Sangam literature? And the options are earliest work in Tamil, option B earliest work in Sanskrit, option C earliest work in Pali, or option D earliest work in Prakrit. And the answer for this question is option A, which is earliest work in Tamil. And so first of all, what is Sangam? So Sangam literally means association. This is the meaning of Sangam, which is to associate, and it is a name given to the Tamil literature. And the works has been composed around between 100 common era to 250 common era, and the three chief kingdoms of these periods were mainly the Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas. Question number 11 says, directive principles are taken from the constitution of which country? And option A is USA, option B is Germany, option C is Ireland, or option D New Zealand. So the answer for this question is option C, Ireland. And what is directive principles of state policy? It is mentioned in Article 36 to Article 51, and it comes under the Part 4 of Indian Constitution. It refers that the state shall direct its policy in such a manner as to secure the rights of all men and women to an adequate means of livelihood, equal pay for equal work within limits of economic capacity under its domain. So it refers to that the state shall direct its policy to secure the right of all men and women, which comes under the domain of states, to state of a particular state, to provide them with an adequate means of livelihood and to provide them with equal pay for equal work within its limit of economic capacity, like within the limit of economic capacity of a state, and hence it comes under the Part 4 of Indian Constitution, and it has been taken from the Constitution of Ireland. That's all. Thank you.